And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to something very special. Not the regular KSL, but welcome back to the Korean StarCraft League SummerSlam Qualifier. The very first qualifier, the very first Summer League. We'll see if this is a regular thing. It's possible. It is possible as we are getting to our first series of the night. And it's going to be a very special one as well. It's going to be not a ZvZ, but a ZVP. Oh, let's go. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the Canadian, usually Zerg, but now Protoss player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Scarlett. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have her opponents. We have the Indian Zerg player representing Maturino Esports. It is Demi. Go. We have Demi versus Scarlett. I was ready to strap into a ZvZ. I was like, let's go, Bobby. I believe in Demi ZvZ. I feel like he's been forged in the flames of Southeast Asia with Ender, with Mia Micah, with Good Joey. Let's go. And Demi was smudging a little bit. He was like, I'm up against Scarlett. What do I do? But suddenly, Protoss. Suddenly, Scarlett is going to be off racing instead. Her off race is pretty damn good. So, yeah, she's feeling confident here in her ability to Protoss Demi. We'll see if Demi can fight back against the off race. We'll see if he can bring something different to the table. I imagine at some point we're going to be seeing a Ling all-in. I think this is Demi. Very often in these best of series, we've seen like these 21 drone Ling all-ins. But we'll see. As for the time being, we do see a hatch gas pool opener from Demi. Everything's looking normal. Everything is looking standard for the time being, at least until this probe does get swatted away. Across the map, we do see a gate expand from Scarlett as well. So likewise, everything is looking normal, at least initially here in this game, and hopefully that is how the early game will be. We can get into a solid mid game as well. It's been a hot minute. Since I've been able to cast Scarlett's Protoss. I want to say it's been like maybe last year, maybe like at some point last year in a qualifier we were able to see that. So yeah, I'm really curious to see like what level her off race, her Protoss is at the moment. We do see a Stargate opener coming out from Scarlett. Likewise, Ling's going to be shooing away that probe, and Demi's continuing to drone. Bear that in mind as well. Again, like he has been known to Ling flood in this matchup, but for the time being, he is droning. He's taking a third base. He's saturating. Everything's looking as it should from Demi, so we're going to be getting into the mid game in relatively standard fashion. It's going to be on Scarlett to really mix things up. I'm curious as to what kind of style of Protoss she's going to be playing, whether it's going to be the tried and true triple Oracle into Twilight Council into Glaive Adepts, is going to be looking to abuse the high ground here and does get a couple of hits on those workers, but the workers are going to be kept alive. They do get pulled back. Up, she's back. And one drone will go. No, not even. Oh my god, the drone's barely able to regen their HP just in time. 4 HP on one, 6 on the other, and the drones will survive. Very nicely done, very clean here from Demi, not losing anything, only losing a single Ling to the Adept. Meanwhile, Scarlett is indeed going for the Oracle first. We have a first Oracle, we have a second on the way. We force the activation of the Pulsar beam back at home. Again, very nicely done here by Demi, delaying that Nexus. As Scarlett is looking to expand and get that third up and running. Adept stays at home as well. Oh, and that Oracle is going to be able to finish off some of these drones. 2 workers do go down at the third base. Queens are everywhere they should be as well. We have 2 queens at the third, 2 queens here at the main base. Be lacking a queen at the third, but for the most part, Demi's going to be able to hold on. Doesn't lose too much. Only 2 workers. Could have definitely been worse. And Scarlett is indeed going up to triple Oracle. So I was going to say very old school, but you know, it's the standard way of playing this matchup so far. I appreciate that Scarlett probably won't go into a fleet beacon and won't rush into Sky Toss or rush into carriers. It's tempting. I'm sure it's very tempting here for Scarlett. I know it's something that a lot of like players that off race like to do, is that when they play the opposing race, they just like to abuse it a little bit, because they know what they don't like to play against. But for now, Twilight Council and a Forge, no Sky Toss. Let's go. no Fleet Beacon as the Robo's throwing down low ground as well. Meanwhile, at the 5-minute mark, we do have a Roach Warren for Demi. So again, a very standard timing for the Roach Warren. Oracles are heading towards that third, but again, the Queens are in a position. So far, good target firing and up. They do not quite get that Oracle. 4 more drones and Scarlett does escape. So very nicely done here by Scarlett. Actually, she's able to get out of there, and Demi's just going to be saturating his bases, taking his gases. Should be seeing an Evo Chamber momentarily. Lack of Evo Chamber is a little bit concerning. A little bit. Without it, we won't have +1. We won't have that kind of +2 timing for those bathing run-bys that we know Protoss players can sometimes struggle against. For now, though, Scarlett just going to be vying for map control. Cleaning up whatever creeps she can. Lings are coming in for a surround. They don't quite go for it. And there are plenty of oracles to help support. And that is a lot of tumors that are going to be going down. What's interesting to me is that Demi... Okay, I was about to say that... Did he cut queens? But no. We do have plenty of queens that just spread between the bases. Just going to be trying to hold on here. There is +1 melee on the way. And we do have an abundance of Lings in production for Demi to help deal with these stalkers and potentially counterattack as well. Back at home, Scarlett is pretty well defended. We do have our shield battery overcharged, really good SimCities to defend against bathing run-bys, and a good hold position on these units as well. So kind of getting economic damage done here is going to be a very difficult thing to do. Not impossible, just difficult. As back at home, Demi double expanding, taking his 4th and his 5th. Alienness is on the way, and so far it's been a pretty passive game. I mean, Scarlett, she was kind of cleaning up some creep earlier, but outside of that, she's going to be backing up. She's going for double robot production. Templar Archives is on the way. We're missing the Robotics Bay. I was assuming that this would be for double Colossus, to make 2 Colossi at a time. One of these may have needed to have been a Robotics Bay, but no, we're getting into Immortal production. Okay, so we're getting Immortals, it's going to be Archons, Storm, very Creator-esque gameplay here as, yeah, Scarlett is just turtling up back at home, throwing down stasis traps and building up a death ball of an army. It is a very safe way to play, and yeah, she's ready to receive anything that Demi can dish out. This does give Demi a lot of breathing room, which I do think is probably a really good thing for him. I think Demi needs, like, to get into his comfort zone, to get into his play. No Spire, unfortunately, so it's just going to be Ling Bane Roach Ravager out of Demi. There's that infestation bit already in production as well. Start working towards, I imagine, Hive Tech, Vipers, which will help in the defense. We can also start taking towards Hydras and Lurkers once we get into Hive Tech. But now, just +2 and saturating everything. So yeah, we just be chilling. What's scary about this is that, of course, even though that Scarlett is giving Demi a lot of breathing room and he can drone up as much as he wants from this point, Scarlett is still going to have a terrifying army. Like, the amount of Immortals is already insane. We have 4 Immortals. We're about to have 6, soon 8. We have plenty of High Templar with Storm. No Archons yet, which is a little bit concerning. Archons would be ideal to help support against the Lings. Like, Lings against this would actually work really well. Ling Bane even, like, despite the Storms, can still perform well. Scarlett is going for some Prison Pass. We do see a 5th base on the way for Scarlett as well. Demi just focusing on building up his forces back at home. More stasis traps. Here we go. The first Archon is on the way. And Scarlett can now start pushing out on the map. It is looking pretty terrifying. Stray Immortal is going to get shut down. I think that was a misrally from earlier. Prism is going to slip into the main. Likewise, their Queens are getting in position. The Prism is not going to have an easy time slipping into the main base. And it's going to come down to this engagement here. Can Demi collapse on this army? 1 Storm does go off. Only 1. But there's so many Storms available. My god. 6 High Templar, each with at least 1 Storm. Oh boy. Zealot run by on the right hand side. Looks like Demi is getting ready to receive it. Yeah, has split off plenty of units. Does have enough. At the same time, the main army is pushing onto the left hand side, clearing up a lot of creep. Throwing down some stasis traps and up. Oh, massive stasis trap on the army. Big storms as well. Not a good start for Demi. Has to bring everything together. No, instead he goes for a big counterattack. But there are also stasis traps back at home. They are about to run out, to be fair. Demi may wait long enough for that to happen. Prism does fall here in between the bases. Was targeted down. There we go. Scarlett is now pushing onto creep. I don't think Demi can stop this. Like, he's got some decent amount of banelings. If he can get on top of the High Templar, then maybe. Does force out a storm, but again, we still have 4 more storms behind this. Oh, the banelings, they rush into an Archon. At the same time, the push on the right-hand side comes in. Stasis traps go up. And Demi is not breaking through across the map. Scarlett takes down a base, takes down a mineral line. 14 workers go down, and Scarlett is going to be snowballing out of control. GG gets called, and Scarlett will take game number 1. GG. Oh, yeah, it was a pretty straightforward game. Just slow and methodical. Even though she gave Demi a lot of time, he was stuck on a Lingbane Road Ravager army. For those wondering, the army that Demi had, he had a really good worker count. He had 80 workers. He was on 5 bases. Working on 6 bases even. But the downside is that his army is designed to trade. With Lingbane Road Ravager, you want to be active on the map. You want to be fighting. You want to be trading. It is not ideal when it comes to a maxed out situation like that, where both players are maxed. It's not good, Babby. Not good. Yeah. Because of that, he was kind of stuck being a little bit passive. I think Demi was expecting Scarlett to be a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more assertive. And while she was maxing out, he was kind of stuck with all this with all this Lingbane Road Ravager that he wasn't able to make use of. And yeah, was kind of caught in a bit of an unfortunate position. But oh my god, we are switching races. Okay. I was getting excited to see how Demi would adapt here to the Protoss, but no, now in game 2 we have a ZvZ. Oh boy. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Ancient System, we have the South Korean Zerg. South Korean? Oh my god. Living in South Korea, to be fair. We have the Canadian Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Scarlett. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have her opponents. Oh, okay. Going for a 14 pool, we have the Indian Zerg player representing Maturino Esports. It is Demi. Let us go. So Demi's going to be a little bit cheeky. We do see Scarlett going for a hatch first opener here in this ZvZ. So soon to be a hatch gas pool, I imagine. Meanwhile, Demi's going to be a lot more aggressive instead. Now, with this 14 pool, he's going to be going for his expansion afterwards, and he's going to be looking to slip and sneak some lings across the map to get damage done, to make it look like it's a hatch first. Or to make it look a little bit inconspicuous. That's it. Ugh. I just wake up. Unironically, did just wake up before the cast. And here we go. 6 lings are on the way. Ideally, Demi can bypass the overlords and get across the map. Meanwhile, Scarlett just going for a standard opener. Hatch gas pool again. We can work on link speed. We can work on a Bailey nest. Now, the downside as well as to what Demi is doing is that he's going to have to play 2-base Roach from here. What I mean by that is that there are no gases. This is gasless from Demi. We can see that so far the lings are doing a great job bypassing the first overlord, and we'll see. Yes, they will be able to bypass the second overlord as well. So Demi is sneaking out across the map and should be looking to catch Scarlett unprepared, hopefully focusing some of these drones down and getting damage done. Now the gases are being taken. These are very late. It's a little bit too late to start working towards link speed, so Demi should be walling off here on 2 bases and skipping link speed entirely to kind of catch up and keep up. And here we go. The lings have made it across the map. Again, the goal here is for some economic damage. There are 3 drones to be targeted, 4 drones even. So far, really good reaction out of Scott. She does pull every single worker away. Oh, and she's pulling them together as well. The queen is about to pop out. With the arrival of the Queen, Scarlett should be able to clean this up, and good control. Scarlett does not lose a single worker. Now, Demi did force some lost mining time. He also forced out additional lings as well. These are lings that Scarlett did not want to make, and is even forcing out a spine crawler. But behind this, again, Demi is droning. Demi is saturating his bases. He is catching up here with enough gas for link speed, but again, I do feel like he should be walling off. But we'll see what he goes for. He could even go 2-base lair. I imagine he will, actually. Meanwhile, back at home, you see Scarlett is going to let the spine crawler finish. An interesting choice. Very safe play here from Scarlett. Meanwhile, Demi, he's throwing down his Evo chamber. We should be seeing a Roach Warren as well. And Demi just has to play catch up here on 2 bases. Walling off. Now, the downside to this, as to what Demi is doing, is that Scarlett is free to expand and take a third. Third base is on the way. For Scarlett, she will have an economic advantage as a result, or she should have an economic advantage as a result, with plenty of lava to work with. Gases are being taken, and Scarlett should be skipping her Bailey nest and setting up here to go into roaches as well. Oof. As Demi is going to get supply blocked. Ay. Back at home, Demi, working on his own lair, is getting +1 range, so I was assuming that this could be 2-base Muta if he took all 4 gases, but because we have range on the way, this is looking to be just 2-base Roach. Nothing too crazy. Oh. And yeah, from here, we are going to be getting into this. Are going to be getting into this as we do have some the third base being taken here by Demi. We do have +1 range and roach speed. That's the advantage that Demi has, is a much faster lair here instead. Do love to see it. And he can try and hit the timing here with +2 as a result. Meanwhile, back at home, Scarlett just going to be chilling here on these 3 bases. We have a spine crawler on spine crawler just being repositioned. We'll start down earlier. Demi also checking to make sure that he's aware of what Scarlett is up to. I mean, she herself could have been going for something like a fast spire. So Demi does have to make sure. Does have to make sure he's safe and sound. As both players are going to be backing up here and just getting back into this. Again, Demi, he actually has more workers than Scarlett, surprisingly, as Scarlett is pretty heavily supply blocked. Ooh, 5 overlords on the way. Ay. You know, there it is, +2 range and production for Demi. As he's working on 2-1. Third base being saturated, and I imagine Demi wants to hit a timing here with +2. Like, this is going to be a big power spike for the blue Zerg. And I'm sure he wants to take advantage of that. For now, though, he's still going to be saturating his bases, at least taking 1 additional gas geyser at his third base. Likewise, Scarlett just fully saturated on 3 bases, just droning up heavily, working on her own +2. And at this point, I feel like Demi should be cutting workers. He's drawn up to 60. And I think that's what we're going to be cutting here for Demi. Again, more overlords on the way. A bit of a supply block once again for both players, actually. It does happen when making roaches. Roaches, they take a lot of supply. Take a lot of supply. And no, Demi's actually droning up a little bit more, which is going to be an issue here. Like, these are drones that he could have made earlier, that he should have made earlier as well. Just actually take his 6th gas geyser and start saturating his other bases. And here we go. Now Scarlett is going to be pushing out, working on those rocks. We're done droning at this point. And I love that both players are going for kind of similar setups here. To have a drop lord from Scarlett, a drop lord from Demi as well. Both going to be moving out. Demi does spot that. Hopefully he does. Yeah. As he's sending roaches back into the main base to deal with that. Meanwhile, his own drop lord is moving out as well. Roaches are going to be clashing. +2 is about to kick in for Demi. Still not done. But we do have a better concave. He's going to be pushing on in. Meanwhile, the drop does get into his main base. But Demi is waiting for it. He's going to shut down the drop. Still working on his own push. And Scarlett is transitioning. We have a Hydrogen and an Infestation Pit on the way. So she's looking to tech up into Lurkers. And this is where Demi, like, he needs the initiative here, the drive here. Ooh, as he takes a couple of blasts to the face to try to force a fight and try to push us out across the map. Like, he's had an upgraded advantage for a while now, but +2 is now about to kick in for Scarlett. She's about to equalize. She's about to even things up. Dropper Lord is getting into the main. Ooh, at the same time, looks like a couple workers do go down at the 4th. Reinforcements do come out in time for Scarlett to help defend. Demi's trying to collapse on this army. Scarlett is forced to bring back some roaches. But so far, no kind of overreaction here. No big economic damage. Does get a queen, but only a queen. Ooh, as the hive is on the way, Demi did scout. And there it is. So Demi, he saw the infestation pit, he saw the hydrogen. I think he may have seen the hive on the way as well. So Demi, he should know he's behind. He's behind in tech and falling further behind. So we have a Nidus instead. Demi's basically gonna be going all in. It's all or nothing for Demi. A couple more workers are going down. Demi falling a little bit further behind when it comes to the economy. And even with the Nidus, what is his plan going to be? Like, he's being pinned back at home with these roaches. Here we go. We have the Drop Lord back into the main. Workers are going down left and right. Demi is losing a bit much. The roach is still uncontested in his main. They do take down the queen. Up. Meanwhile, we do have a Nidus into the main base. Demi is going to be able to get quite a lot of roaches here into the main, and Scarlett does pull back completely. Roaches do bust in. There are plenty of reinforcements back at home. Scarlett is going to be able to defend. But this does create an opening as Demi pushes out across the map. There are spine crawlers waiting for him. Ah! There are plenty of spines. Nidus is going to go down. And Hydras are out. Lurker Den is done. We have +3 on the way. 3-2 upgrades even. Demi has been on a timer, and it's running out. Time is running out as Demi's pushing out. So they're gonna try to force the issue here. Lurkers are on the way, and once they arrive, again, Demi has refused to tech up into his own hive, into his own lurkers. And as he tries to force the issue, like, we have lurkers, we have spine crawlers, spores as well. And Demi is going to try to force his way through. There is a world where he could try to bile these lurkers, definitely. But GG gets called. We're too far behind. And Scarlett will take the series 2-0. Oh, GG. I hope I press the right button. GG, well played. Also, one moment. Do have to quickly do something. So I'll be back soon. And hopefully we don't miss our next series as Scarlett moves on to the next round to face off against the winner of Estrella and Rostock. See you soon.